Williams here from PAIPL. I want to talk a little bit about site selection for plants. There's all sorts of factors, and you're not going to get them right the first time, and maybe not the second time, but over time you start to figure them out. One of them is that if you're planting a tree like this swamp, what is this, a swamp white oak, you want to look and see whether there's sky over it. You need canopy, an opening in the canopy, and this one has it, and it will get some light. Chances are that some of these other trees may lose branches in the meantime and provide even more light. You also got to think about where the light flows across here. This particular area gets good sunlight, though we're kind of at the edge of that. Another factor is whether or not you've got to worry about flooding. We've got the Frankstown branch of the Juniata River here, and we just had a snow melt, a good, 7-8 inches of snow when rain that melted it, and the water got up, you can tell the water got up to about here. If it had gotten up this far, and if it's coming, when the water gets that high, it's also moving fast. I've had it happen that the water comes down, takes the tube, knocks the tube over, knocks the stake over, and basically kills the plant. So when I'm in the really lower reaches of a floodplain like that, I will leave the plant outside of the tube. Now, it means that it might get chewed by deer, other things might be an issue, so you kind of got to weigh both of those. I leave a stake in next to it so I can find the plant again. In this field where we're planting right now, it looks like everything stays low to the ground. Wait until June. June, there's plants up to my hand here. And so I need to find this so I can come back and clear a space around this, know about where I'm looking for that plant so I'm not weed whacking it and destroying it. The other issue sometimes is whether there's a power line. If you're growing something that's going to be 40, 50 feet tall, you have a problem there. If you have high energy transmission lines where there's multiple lines, chances are that your local tree cutters will come and cut down anything you plant under there. If there's a cleared path there, it means it's not a good place for you to plant unless you have some kind of agreement with that power company that if you put in low growing plants, they won't cut them. So sunlight's an issue, the moisture of the soil, and this is a floodplain, so it's good and moist. Those are all issues worth considering. Oh, distance from trees. Generally, I would say at least 6 feet between this and the next plant. There's one over there, there's an existing plant there, there's one there. If there's non-natives around here, you can plant closer and then come back and remove those non-natives, because those non-natives are going to compete for sun and water and all those things with this. That's what I know so far that I can think of. One issue with non-natives is whether you remove them beforehand or afterwards. We usually try to remove them beforehand. But if I have a lot of trees to get in the ground and I see a little spot where I can get a tree, I'll go ahead and plant it, but then make a mental note, I need to come back and remove those non-native invasives. And by the way, we're not spraying them, we're just cutting them down. They will be back. So part of our maintenance over time is to come and not only clear around the base, like I'm doing right here, so that there's room for the plant, and you're not going to have much growth of non-natives there and weeds, and it'll still get sun, but also come back and make sure that the non-natives haven't grown tall enough that they're competing there.